Okay, 8th grade, as I promised, sorry it took me this long. Just been very busy. Here's your video for your rural drawings. I actually posted a bunch of them on Classroom for you. Pictures that I took around Grand Park and other areas that are perfect for this. Remember about the background, the middle ground, and the foreground. And I'm gonna demonstrate a little bit how to get started on this, okay? So I've actually pulled up one of the pictures that I posted. And remember what I said, the first thing you should probably do is always give yourself that horizon line, okay? So mine's not gonna be straight because there's some hills here. All right, so start with the horizon line. There it is. And then I've got some other thing. I've got some trees coming in here. So this would be, I would consider this the middle ground. Right here. Okay. Way in the back, there's more trees, but they kind of just look like a hill, but it's gonna be a different color than the stuff coming forward. Another thing in the background is there's gonna be clouds. So I'm just gonna do some brief outline of some clouds. Okay. There's gonna be some really tiny trees back here. See how tiny that is? Okay, I know I'm not making it super detailed because remember the background is not detailed either. All right, middle ground. So for this picture, for our purposes, I'm actually gonna add more things to it that are not really there right now. I'm gonna go ahead and add a barn in the middle ground here. All right. There's more details in that because that is part of the middle ground. So remember, the most detail is going to be in the foreground, but then you're going to have some more details in the middle ground, but not as many as foreground. And then the background is going to have the least amount of detail. So that's why I kind of just drew shapes for that. And when we go to paint, that's when you're really going to give you more depth, because we'll put different values in there, lights and darks. But you're not going to see a lot of detail back there. It's going to be fuzzy. It's going to have muted colors. It's not going to be bright. It's going to look kind of faded. All right, as we're coming forward though, middle ground, a little bit more details. Still kind of small though. Like obviously this is not going to be the true size of a barn, just a medium. When you get to the foreground, this is when things are the biggest. So in this foreground, there's a bunch of, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of draw some sticks to start our corn stalks. This is what you guys were waiting for, okay? The whole foreground is corn, so I'm going to fill up the whole front, and it's gonna be big. Because remember I said, everything in the foreground is gonna be big. It's going to have the most detail. It's gonna be the brightest colors. Okay, and it's gonna take you the most time, the things that are in the foreground, okay? The stuff in the background is not gonna take that much time. The stuff that's gonna take time for you to draw is definitely going to be in the foreground. All right, so as you can see, I'm drawing the leaves kind of bending because corn is messy. It's not like perfect leaves or stalks. You might even have one that's facing this way. The top always has that, I know there's a name for it, you guys probably know, but I don't. Looks like grass to me, or like, it's like poofy. All right, so there's one stalk of corn. You're gonna go ahead and keep drawing in those stalks. Make sure you don't make them all the same height because they're not going to be exactly the same height. And they're not going to be perfect. It's supposed to be messy, okay? Alright, I'm going to continue this all across the whole page. I'm not going to video that because I think you guys get the idea. If you want me to continue this, maybe I'll make a time-lapse video of it instead. But for our purposes, we have our background, we have a middle ground, we have our horizon line, and you've got large corn stalks in the foreground. You don't need to have corn stalks, but you guys asked me to show you specifically how to draw corn, and that's what I wanted to give you the highlight of today. So you can check this out. I will put it on Classroom. I'll keep it there for reference. If you have any questions, you can email me or let me know. And remember, you also have to put yourself in the picture somewhere. So some of you are going to be very intimidated by that. You don't have to do a close-up of yourself. You don't have to put yourself in the foreground. You can put yourself in the middle ground or even the background. I know in the years past I've actually said you can draw yourself on a tractor way in the background and tell me that that's you way back there, okay? All right, see you guys tomorrow.